Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a vegan milk and yogurt cold processed soap. I'm also going to be sharing the full recipe with you down below in the description box so you can recreate this soap if you like. In this video today I'm going to be going over my full visual process and step-by-step tutorial, as well as sharing with you tips and tricks and letting you know why I'm using certain ingredients. Again, I'll be placing the recipe down below in the description box for you, but if you would like the full written detailed step-by-step tutorial with instructions and links to where I got all my supplies and also percentages and amounts so you can scale this recipe up or down as you like, please head on over to my Patreon campaign. You'll be able to unlock this formula at just the $5 level. There's so much information over there, a ton, hundreds of recipes and tutorials for you to take advantage of just at the $5 level. I also have 5 other tiers for you to take a look at and take advantage of, each with their own unique benefits. And we are still offering coupon codes upon sign up to my favorite makers like makesy.com and onlinelabels.com, just making this the best deal. So I really hope that you'll check it out. Thanks to everybody who has already joined. I really appreciate that. It helps me to continue to put out content like this every week. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before we get started, I just wanted to make note that we are wearing protective gear, long sleeves, we have goggles on. We're using goggles that have a gasket so that nothing splashes up into our eyes. We're wearing gloves, long pants, and closed-toed shoes. So here are my buckets of oils and lye water solution. So today I'm using a combination of olive oil, pure, castor oil, cocoa butter, coconut oil, stearic acid, and sweet almond oil. Now we've added a little bit of stearic acid to this soap because I tend to find with any type of milk soap, goat milk soap, plant milk, cow's milk, and yogurt can kind of make your soap a little bit on the softer side. So we're using stearic acid in this soap to balance that out and make a nice and hard bar of soap. And then the rest of the oils in here we're using for their cleansing and lather properties, and also their gentle cleansing properties. So this is going to be a very luxurious bar of soap. And the plant milks that we're using today are soy milk. It's just plain soybeans and water, nothing else added. And we're using cashew yogurt. Both came from Trader Joe's. And we're using this combination of plant-based yogurt made from cashews and soy milk because these two things are really going to draw moisture to your skin. This is going to be a very hydrating and moisturizing bar of soap. So that's what we're going for today. So we're going to go ahead and putting this on low. I'm just going to bring this to a very light trace because I'm definitely going to be adding in 5 ounces of soy milk, and so I've reduced the water content in the lye water solution by 5 ounces. So I just want to make sure that we just get to a light trace, since there is quite a bit of a water reduction in this recipe. Now you could just use your soy milk as a complete replacement. This is all room temperature, by the way. I prepared this yesterday and it's sitting overnight. You could just use a full soy milk replacement, but I recommend, if you're going to do that, to freeze your milk into ice cubes and then slowly add the lye. I have a lot of tutorials like that over on my Patreon campaign if that's something that you're interested in. But this is also another way to do it. You can reduce your water, and then you can add the milk in at a light trace. So here goes our soy milk. Soybeans are also very well known for anti-aging properties. You can see a lot of products on the market, anti-aging products that will have actual like soy in them, creams and lotions. They're good for their anti-aging properties. Okay, we're going to go ahead next and add in our cashew yogurt. This is just the Trader Joe's brand of cashew yogurt, and it's just very creamy and decadent. we're using a 1/4 cup of cashew yogurt. So in a traditional like cow's milk or goat's milk soap, the sugars from the actual milk will heat up your soap. So this is happening a little bit with the plant-based. So you just want to make sure you don't over blend. The yogurt also is going to add some really nice good bacteria to help keep your skin balanced. It's going to bring that to your soap as well. Okay, so I am going to be portioning this off into 3 different colors. I can feel that the soap is warming up a little bit, and again, that's going to be due to the added sugars that come from both the plant milk and the cashew yogurt. Okay, so I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of eyeballing how much I want to go in there. And I'm just going to be adding in some super light, I wanted this to be a very soft looking bar of soap. So I'm going to be adding in some very light colors. So I'm going to be using this Summer Crush mica. This comes from Nurture Soap. And it's just a beautiful light pink, very kind of light coral color. I love the way this turns out in cold processed soap. The Summer Crush almost comes out a little bit like a peachy corally color. I'm going to be adding in probably about a teaspoon or a little bit less. And then the next color I'm going to be adding in is Rapunzel, also by Nurture Soap. And Rapunzel is just a beautiful kind of golden, just a golden color. It's really beautiful. It's kind of a sandy golden color, so we're going to be adding a little bit more of this one because it is very light. And then to this one, we're just going to be adding a little bit of titanium dioxide dispersed in water right into the bigger one. And then I'm going to take my fragrance. Today we're using the fragrance oil Yay for Yummy. This is by Nature's Garden. It's one of my favorite scents. It's kind of it's a Lush dupe. I don't know which Lush fragrance it does dupe offhand, but it is a Lush dupe. And it's a fruit and floral mix, which are among some of my favorite types of fragrances are fruit and florals. And it also has a little bit of a green note to it. It's a very popular one with customers as well. Customers really like this fragrance. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a stir by hand just to get this mostly mixed in. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my stick blender and give these each just a little bit of a blend, not too much. I do recommend for sure making this soap at room temperature like I am now, just because it is heating up slightly. So I'm going to come over here first, put it into the white, give it a little bit of a blend. Just see the colors pop a little bit more after it's stick blended. Then we're going to go into the gold, just a little bit. And then into that beautiful pink. And I'm just pulsing my stick blender on low. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and pour these into our mold. I think the colors are really beautiful. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and just, there we go. So all I'm doing with this design today is making a drop swirl, and then I may take a spoon and swirl the inside a little bit. We'll have to see how that part goes. But I'm going to start out with my white. And I'm just doing a drop swirl. So we're just gonna, and then I'm gonna go in with my pink, and then the gold. And then I'm just gonna alternate. Just doing 2 passes each. This is staying perfectly fluid for this design, which is just great. Just tamping it down a little bit, and then I don't think I'm going to go in and swirl it. I think I just want to keep the design that was made by just the pouring. I think it's going to look really cool. And then I'm going to take the rest of my colors here and just sort of wing them across the top like this. And I'm going to do the same with the gold. The gold is a little bit thicker than the other colors, and I think that's just because we used a bit more mica colorant in here. Okay. And I'm debating on using any more white. I think there's plenty of white in here, maybe just a little bit more on the very top here. Okay, I think that's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of texture on the top. I'm going to take a chopstick and just swirl the top. We're going to go this way first. And just kind of drag. I'm only just putting the chopstick in the very top layer here because I don't want to disrupt the design that's inside. My goal here is to just make a little bit of a design out of the top colors that I swirled here. And then I'm going to go down and back. And that's how the top looks. The colors are very muted, which is exactly what I wanted. I just wanted a very muted color. So what I'm going to do next is just spritz the top with a little bit of rubbing alcohol so that we don't get any soda ash. Since I didn't do any water discounting because we did the full amount of liquid when we added in that milk, we were adding back in the full amount of liquid that the recipe calls for. So there's no water discount here, and typically I get this question a lot. Typically I find when I use a water discount, I have less problems with soda ash. So if you're someone that's struggling with soda ash on your soaps, try just doing a little bit of a water discount, maybe 10%. That seems to be very helpful. I don't really get soda ash anymore because I typically always use a little bit of a water discount, but I didn't want any acceleration here. So I didn't do any water discount, and I'm glad because I think the design inside is going to be very gorgeous. So I'm just spritzing the top with some 99% rubbing alcohol to prevent the soda ash. And if we get a little bit, you know, whatever, it happens. So then the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and top this with some red roses. These red roses came from Brambleberry. I love the botanicals at Brambleberry. They always come in, they're really high quality. They always look gorgeous. They have a very nice color. So I'm just gonna sprinkle the top here with some red roses and just give it a little pop of color. I think I'm gonna be removing the green leaf parts that came out here. Just a few of them, some of the bigger ones. Like, I want to take that one out, and I want to take that one out. So something too with the botanicals, I may not ever really mention this, but if you're using a soap with botanicals like this on the top, you should remove the botanicals before you use it in your shower, because they can mildew. So if you are selling a soap with botanicals on the top, it's probably a good idea to let your customers know as well. I'm just putting a little bit more on here than I think is necessary, because you do lose a little bit of the petals when you cut the soap. So I'm accounting for that as well. So I'm just going to take my fingers and just kind of gently, maybe I'll just take this spoon and just kind of gently press down, just making sure they are stuck in the soap. So this video that you're watching now will go live. You'll be watching it hopefully on Wednesday. And there you have it. That's a beautiful soy milk and cashew yogurt, plant-based vegan soap. I hope that you stay tuned for the cutting. Be right back for the cutting. Alright, the soap has been curing now for about 24 hours. This is what it looks like. I think the colors so far look really, really beautiful, just what I was going for. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like on the inside. So we go ahead and put the flower petals this way so that we don't drag the flower petals down the soap and leave gouge marks in it. So let's go ahead and give this a look. Wow, I think that turned out super pretty. It's so funny when you pour a drop swirl like that, you just never know what the inside is going to look like, because the colors look so muddled up while you're pouring, but that just stayed really, really nice. Smells great. Really, really pretty. This soap did go through a gel phase, so the colors are popping a little bit more than they were when I was actually making the soap, which I like. I think that turned out really nice. I love the gold color and the contrast between the white and that light pink. All right, I'll show you one more and then we'll go ahead and stamp. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp the soap. I just love how the stamp leaves it looking so finished and polished. I get asked all the time where I got my soap stamp, and I just got it off Etsy probably 10 years ago. If you just do a search for acrylic soap stamp, I'm sure that you will be able to find it. We'll go go ahead and stamp one more. I'm just spritzing it with a little rubbing alcohol because it helps the stamp not to stick on the fresh soap, and it comes out cleanly. And there you have it, everyone. That's how you make a soy milk and vegan plant-based yogurt soap. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave me some comments and questions below. Share this video with a friend and subscribe to my channel. All right, everybody, catch you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.